Well, last Friday, had the privilege of heading out to Silverstream Charolais here near Lincoln, of course, for their annual bull sale. Great people, the fishers. And of course, what an outstanding result. 9,500 in average there and a packed rostrum. But that wasn't just the case for the Silverstream Charolais team. It was a very strong bull sale season across the country, despite COVID. So to join us to unpack his thoughts around this year's bull sale season is, of course, the very renowned auctioneer, Neville Clark from Carrfields. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us, Neville. Now, hey, you would have had a lot of fun. It would have been one of the last ones of the season last Friday, was it?
Yeah, well, certainly the last one on my run, Sarah, but the Cam Heggie and the Waikato they've still got 4 or 5 up there and up in the Northland. So, but yeah, she's pretty much down and dusted now, and it's been a really good season when you think of what we were facing. But luckily, we were able to get to sales and participate. One of the things I think we saw something new. We had Auctions Plus and Bidder, 2 different live stream influences into the sale, and they played their role. They probably didn't get as much mileage as they could have done because we were allowed to go to sales. But look, it's new technology and it'll have its place, and it'll all blend itself in eventually.
I'd like to know what your thoughts are first, whilst you just touched on that. Where do you think that online trading will find its place from what you've seen so far for genetic sales?
Oh, it'll find its place. So, there's nothing like looking at the animal itself. If you haven't been able to get to the sale, and view the animals, it'll be a pretty tough call to buy one over the phone. Generally you'd be buying a stud bull baby. Not so bad for commercial, but to buy a stud bull, you've got to look at everything that needs to happen with the bull, and I don't think you can quite see it on a TV screen, but look, you've got people on the ground and you can confirm with them and then bid away as you did. And funny enough, I did a sale at Mangahina, and we sold some semen for an amazing price, and that was both purchasers were from Perth in Australia, and away it went, and they made $5,150 a straw, so it can happen, all right.
And it makes it quite strange for you yourself, auctioneering, dealing with hybrid type scenarios, Neville.
Yeah, it is a bit strange. You've just got to be mindful that you're not going too fast. You've got to give them time to bid. You've got to maintain your the increases fairly. So it's sort of 100, 200. It's simple like that. 300, 400. You can't sort of find the hobble length and whack it into them a bit. But that's the way it is. And as I say, we'll get better at it. And as I say, it'll have its place.
Yeah, now looking at these clearance numbers, of course, this is in Farmers Weekly's 2-page spread, which will come out on Monday. All the bull sale results is an excellent way of seeing it all. Numbers of bulls sold, average price, top price, who the buyer was, all collectively. So check it out in your Farmers Weekly on Monday. Some pretty awesome clearance rates. Is that because they took the advice to maybe pull the numbers back?
Oh, well, yeah, possibly. I think... just one of those years where there was enough bulls for the market. Some places did pull them back, but not significantly. It just goes to show that the people that got cows now are pretty die-hard cow people, and where the cows are up in the high country, you put good bulls go in, and good stuff comes out. And at the end of the day, the protein shortage around the world is going to continue to play a role in this market, and the beef market especially. And at the moment, there's a huge interest for export cattle, yearling heifers, and of all descriptions. So, look, it all looks good, and good on the fellas to get out and then buying good bulls.
Yeah, and actually looking through this list, there's a lot with the word commercial beside buyers. What did you find in terms of some of those top prices where commercial guys are now valuing genetics? Even more. I think they can see a combination between EBVs and the phenotype. So, the EBVs have been around a wee while. It is an estimated breeding value, but we've got a bit more faith in them than perhaps that we had. And I think the average farmer's getting to grips with them a little bit. I think it's about right. For a stud bull, what is a stud bull worth? It's what someone thinks it's worth and what they can get out of it genetically. And
We had that wonderful price, 104,000 at Tuiroa. That was 2 studs that have a decent plan. They'll sell some semen from him, and I mean to say it's all good for the stud, good for the industry, and as I say, it was a wonderful sale for the Padrell family.
And from a commercial perspective, though, I mean, some of these record prices definitely help pulling up averages, but it seems like commercial buyers across the board seem to find a bull that they were happy with. Would you say that's fair?
Very much so. I think, look at some of these sales that we do, some of these bigger sales that sell a lot of stud bulls. Carrfields, Angus, we sold 13 stud bulls there with an average value of 23,000 this year. Well, if you take that amount of money off the total, the commercial bulls there very viable, for the quality you get. And I think, you've got to look at that. You think of some of these studs, they do sell some high price stud bulls, and it makes the commercial bulls very viable. And I think this year, more so than ever, a lot of really good bulls were sold between sort of 8 to 11,000. If you look at the total quality of them, they were really, really good buying. Like they're, strong, capable cattle, and I think there's some, the best shopping's done in that range, I think.
Now, was there any variance majorly between breeds this year, or was it pretty similar?
Oh, I think it was pretty similar, really. They've, I think the Angus, of course, is 42% of the national herd is the Angus base. So, we sell a lot of Angus bulls, the Hereford and next in line, and they had some wonderful sales. And the blue blood Hereford fella, you're not going to change him because he loves the cattle and loves the breed, and they do the job in the right place. And then you go to exotics. They'd probably just battled a bit off the back of the Angus strength, but look, at the end of the day, it's a preference, and those exotic cattle throw a little bit more growth into it, and they're probably better value for money if you look on a per calf basis, but each to his own.
Well, absolutely right. No, I'm actually looking at the averages of the exotics there around that sort of 5 to 6 mark. But then, golly gosh, Mangahina, 17 out of 17 with an average of 11,735 for Speckled Parks. I think that's the new hot ticket.
Yeah, it is, and I've been involved in that sale for the last 3 years with Speckled Parks, and look, they're a new breed on the block, and there's a lot of good about them. I say they're new, so a lot of people are still trying them. But see, when you look at the bulls themselves, they're high yielding, really attractive cattle. And Mark McKenzie at Mangahina certainly stole the march there. He got into the job early and leads the field. And I say when you can sell semen to Perth, Australia, for $5,000+ a straw, you know that something's going right. So as I say, that's a new breed, and we'll see a few more in the sale yards, and who knows, a few more people might be into them.
Oh, excellent. Hey, thank you so much, Clarky. Now, just to end, I'm hearing that some rough weather across the North Island. How's things? Are you sort of putting your feet up now that you've done your season?
Oh, no, not really. No, commercial work just takes over now, so back into it. Although we've got very wet here on the East Coast, and the last 3 weeks we've had probably between 10 and 15 inches of rain. So winter has set in a little bit, but we were really dry, and the February, March, April for us here on the coast was getting a bit dire. But I say we're making a comeback now, and it could stop any day it likes. Further south of us, Hawke's Bay haven't had the rain, and they still need a fair bit to get the levels right. So we'll be in for a really good spring, and I say the dams are full again now. So it'll be good.
Oh, great to hear. Thank you so much. That's Clarky there from Carrfields, of course, very well known auctioneer across New Zealand.
This is Sarah's Country.